Hey YouTubers, we got another video review for you. This one's from a company by the name of AIVOLT. They reached out to me and asked me if I'd be interested in doing a review on the portable power station here. This is the VP350. And of course I said, sure, send it. I'll do a review on it. And only expect an honest review out of it. So if you're thinking this is going to be just a padded review because they sent me a power station, think again, because I will test it and I will show you guys my testing and the results. And so we're going to do the unboxing. Now I've already had it out of the box. I've been playing around with it, so I had to repackage it back up, so hopefully it looks just like this whenever you guys get it on your doorstep if you're interested in this. So anyways, we're going to start with the unboxing. Go ahead, not going to waste much time. You can see that, you know, got your typical cardboard box. And there's your user manual. You got a piece of packing material there on top. And then you've got a box right in here that houses all your goodies. And then right here is your portable power station. And I gotta say, when I pulled this thing out of the box for the first time, I was really shocked because these portable power stations are getting smaller and smaller. Every time somebody asks me to review one, I'm just like, okay. And then when it shows up in the mail, I'm just like shocked because they just keep getting more and more compact and they're still able to carry a good punch to them. So definitely the smallest portable power station I've ever tested to date. So just to give you an idea of how big that it is, it's roughly about 7.5 inches tall, and that's to the very top of the handle to the base of the table. And then from side to side here, it's about 9 inches. And then front to back, it's about 5.5, a little over 5.5 inches. And it only weighs 7.5 pounds. So if you had to take this thing, you know, camping with you or to the beach or, you know, tailgating or just whatever, you know, it's not heavy enough that it's going to bother you. And it's got a nice handle on it. You know, it's seems really sturdy. Here on the top, it does have a place where you can do the wireless charging if you want to stick your phone up there. And I'll show you how all that works here in just a second. And when coming over here to the front, I just wanted to show you how to turn it on. You mash that button right there in the middle and it turns on the display. And I gotta say, the display on this is really, really nice. It's a little bit better looking quality screen than some of them. I've seen some of them where they're not very bright and the letters aren't, and the numbers aren't very crisp. So just looking at the screen, it pretty much just tells you everything that you need to know. Right there at the top left, it tells you your input. And it has like a W there just to tell you the watts. And then the output on the right hand side, it's got all the zeros and it tells you your watts. And then it tells you your time left right there on the bottom left. And it just tells you how many hours you have left of runtime. And since there's nothing plugged in there, it says, you know, just with it running on standby, that it would be able to run for 78 hours. And then right there in the middle, it shows that you're at 94% battery life. And right here at the very bottom, it says USB out. And I'd assume that's how many watts it's putting out in the USB ports there. So before I get too ahead of myself, I'm going to go ahead and open the accessories box and show you what all it comes with. So it comes with a car charger. You can see there's a cigarette lighter plug on one end. And then there's a barrel connector for the other, and that would go right over here at your car input. And then also an Anderson connector to a barrel connector, and you can use this to attach a solar panel, plug it in there, plug a solar panel into that, and you can charge it that way. So it also comes with a 60-watt charging brick. And this is pretty neat because you plug it in the wall, plug this in here, this barrel connector, right into the power station, right in there. And, you know, it charges, it puts 60 watts into the power station and charges it. But if you want to charge it faster, this power station has a pretty cool feature. If you want to buy another charging brick, because it only comes with the one. If you want to buy an extra one, you can take another charging brick and plug it into this input port here and charge it even faster. So it says in the manual, just using one charging brick, it says it takes about 3 hours to recharge to about 80%. It takes about 4 hours to charge to 100%, only using the one adapter. Now, if you have the two adapters, you can charge to 80% in 2 hours, which is pretty fast. And then it says it can take about 3 hours to recharge it to 100%. So, you know, if you're wanting to charge it really fast, it might be worth it to you to buy an extra charging brick so you can really speed that up. So if you want to charge this power station, let's say with a solar panel or something like that, you can use this little adapter here. This is a barrel connector to the Anderson connector, and you just plug in your solar panel. Now keep in mind, you're not going to be able to use a whole lot of solar panels to charge this. In fact, it says in the manual that you'll want a solar panel that puts out between 18 volts and 25 volts with 5 amps max. So that's going to be, you know, a pretty small solar panel. You'll have to check on that and see, you know, some solar panels are different amps and all that, so make sure you check that before you plug in just any solar panel. Some of them are different voltages and all that, so make sure that it falls in line with the recommendations here in the manual before you just plug in solar panels to it. So anyways, now the amount of time that it will take to charge it can vary depending on how big your solar panel is, the weather conditions, and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, so I showed you up here how to charge it with the two inputs right in there. So right down here in this little square, you can see that it's got its own button, and it says DC on it. And what this does is it allows you to turn this little section on and off just by mashing that button. And this is your DC side, and you can see right there, there is a cigarette lighter plug. And you know, if you're wondering what could you use that cigarette lighter plug for, well, let's say you go to the beach or something and you want to blow up some of your inflatables or something like that. I know a lot of those pumps use like a cigarette lighter plug, so that would be pretty handy for that. And then right here at the bottom, you've got the 5521 barrel connectors, and you could use those to plug in like a CPAP machine. It's pretty neat that you can turn this section off, and so you're not wasting any power running power to this section over here. All right, so right here in the middle, this here is your USB-C ports. They're on top, and those are the 65 watts. So it is a pretty fast charge. And then down here below, you've got your USB ports. And then one thing that I found a little funny was it says right here on the bottom that this is the USB-C ports. Well, they've got it mixed up. The writing should be flipped upside down, because here on the top is the USB-C ports, and down below is just the standard USB ports. Now, I have tested the USB-C ports there on top to charge my phone, and it works great. And then I wanted to show you that the USB ports work. And whenever I plug these bulbs in, I know that they use about 5 watts of power. I've tested them many times, but it tells right here, it says 1 second that they're at 0 watts, and then it'll jump up to about 8 watts. It takes it a few minutes to kind of stable out, but you know, these light bulbs are a really good product to have if you've got a portable power station like that, because they only use 5 watts of power. And you know, if you're using, you know, 5 watts of power, it's a lot more efficient than using like a AC powered lamp that you would plug in. So if you're interested in these light bulbs, check down below in the description. These are made by a company called VT Power. So I am an Amazon affiliate, so you know, they're like 20-something bucks, and I get a small little commission out of it. If you're interested in them, it won't cost you guys any more to buy them through my Amazon affiliate link, but I'll make just a little bit off of it. But anyways, back to the power station. You can see right here that it still says 0. Then it popped up to 8 watts right there. It finally stabilized out. And it says that it'll run it for 31 hours. It'll run this light bulb for 31 hours. So that is pretty impressive. Now on to the AC side. This power station here is capable of powering anything up to 300 watts. So you can run a TV off this, a DVD player, you know, it just depends on what size your TV is to ever how long it'll run. And, you know, some TVs are more efficient than others. So, you know, you can, you know, if it's in question, will this run your TV? It'd be a good idea to get a kilowatt meter. And that way you can go around and test all the devices in your house and see what this will be able to run it. And so I'll just go ahead and give you an idea. This product here can run things like, you know, a TV, DVD players. I've run T-Mobile home internet on it, and it works good. I've run a cell phone booster on it. Let's see. You can run box fans, and it'll run a box fan for a pretty good while. You know, you can charge your laptop, your iPads, your cell phones, and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it does pack a pretty good punch. It does have 266 watt hours of capacity. So, you know, it is a small little unit, but it does pack a pretty good capacity size battery in there. So, you know, you're able to run quite a bit of smaller electronics and things like that. Now, things that you cannot run with something like this are heaters and things that use a lot of power. You couldn't run a coffee maker on it. You couldn't run, you know, any kind of oven or heater or any of that. Like a hair dryer, you couldn't run that. You couldn't run, you know, a lot of bigger draw items. And that's why I say get you like a kilowatt meter, and you can go around and test, you know, if there's an item that you want to run, you plug this into your wall and then plug whatever device you want to run and mash the watt button, and it'll tell you how many watts it's using. And that way you'll know if this device here is able to power what you're interested in trying to use this portable power station for. So if you're interested in this, I'll put a link in the description down below as well. So before I go into testing what all you know, this thing can run and test the sine wave and all that kind of stuff, I just wanted to show you right here on the very top there is a 15-watt wireless charger. So I've got like a Samsung Galaxy S8, and everybody knows that's a smaller screen than a lot of these new phones, but it fits right in there and it's able to charge them. So it charges this phone great. Now, you know, you might have to put it in long ways if you have a larger phone, and you can see that it works both ways. But for my S8, it fits right in there just like this, perfect. And it does a good job at picking it up and charging it, even though it's in a case. I thought that was pretty good that it was able to still charge it. Now, if you flip the power station around to the back, you've got a light. You hit it again, and it gets a little brighter. And then you hit it again, and it does the SOS feature. And then you hit it again, and it turns itself off. You can see right along the side right here, there's a cooling fan on the inside. And this thing doesn't get very loud. It gives just a little bit of a hum if it's been turned on for a while. But it's not annoying or anything like that. It's just a little bit of a hum. And then on this side, you can see there's some like venting and all that. But I gotta say the power stations, the fit and finish is really good. Really impressed with it, especially for the price point. You know, I think it's a really nice power station for, you know, what it costs. So here on the bottom, you've got some little rubber feet on there, so it won't scratch your surface up, and so it don't slide. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and get to showing you what all it can power and all that, and we're going to do a load test on it, and we're going to check the sine wave, so stay tuned. Alright, so I wanted to show you right in here, just like on the DC side right there, you've got a button, and you can turn that on, and what that does is it supplies power to that 2 AC outlets right there. And the reason there's a button there is if those are turned off, then the power inverter's not running, so it's not wasting nearly as much power. So when you turn these off, it's a lot more efficient and it'll run longer. And so, you know, if everything's turned off, you know, if the DC side's turned off and the AC side's turned off, it's only going to preserve the battery. Now, when you turn this AC button on, then that power inverter on the inside kicks on, and it's ready to supply power to these AC outlets right there. So now I will say, if you've got something that has a plug like this that's a little bit longer, you know, you'll have to plug it in the top one, and there's just barely enough room, but it blocks your bottom plug. So there's advantage and disadvantage to having a smaller unit like that. Now, you know, in future, they could probably raise these up, and it would probably be a little bit easier for you to plug stuff into. But most of you guys ain't going to be plugging in something with a plug like this anyway, so probably doesn't make no difference. But like I said, we're going to do a load test on it, and so I'm going to plug in this hair dryer. I went ahead and tested this hair dryer with a kilowatt meter, and I plugged it into the bathroom there, and that hair dryer was able to put out just on like the cool feature. I'm not talking about the heat feature, just the cool feature. It was able to put out about 180 watts is what it uses. And then there's a box fan right here. I'm going to plug into it, and it was used about 77 watts on high, which is speed number 3. So if you add the 180 watts from the hair dryer and the 77 watts from the box fan, you're at 257 total watts. So this thing here is rated for 300 watts. So we're within 30 watts of its capacity. So we're going to run it up to, you know, almost 260 watts, and we're going to see, can it handle it? Will it shut down? Will it overheat or any of that kind of stuff? And we're just going to put it through its paces, and we're going to check out the sine wave. All right, guys, so you can see before I have any kind of load plugged into it, I'm testing the sine wave with no load, and you can see there on the oscilloscope. Let me adjust it back there. You can see that the sine wave is nice and clean, and there's no distortion with no load on it. So I gotta say, it's looks like it's some pretty clean power, and so far so good. Now for the load test. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and plug this hair dryer in, and I'm going to plug it in the bottom, and I'm going to turn it on just the cool feature, and like I said, it's going to put out about 180 watts. Now, one thing I did notice is when I checked it with a kilowatt meter, let me turn this off. One thing that I noticed that when I checked it with a kilowatt meter, that this thing was putting out 180 watts. Now, whenever I turn it on here, it shows on the screen, it reads just a little bit high. I have noticed that this unit does read just a little bit high on the display, but it's not a big deal. It's close. It's within 20-30 watts. You know, it's not as accurate as I would like it to be, but that's pretty normal for portable power stations and things like that. They're pretty much just kind of an estimate. But let me turn it back on, and I'll tell you what it reads out. So it says right there that it's using 207 watts. I don't know if you guys can see that. 205, 207. So 210. So it's a little bit off, but that's okay. I mean, it ain't got to be so, you know, precise. Now I'm going to plug in this box fan, but I'm going to leave it in the floor so it's not making more noise for the camera than this is. Got it set to speed number 3. And again, I've already tested the box fan, and it puts out 77 watts. So now it says right here on the little meter that it's using 294 watts. 294, 291. This fluctuates between 291 and 294. So I gotta say, you know, seems to run it just fine. I know that's not 300 watts, but you know, there's really no need to try to push it all the way to the limit. I'm sure that it would, but I'll let it run for another minute. I just want to show you guys that it can do it, and the fans aren't putting out any kind of loud noise. I can feel a vibration from them, but you're not going to be able to hear it over this anyway. But still at 294, 297, keeps jumping back. There it is with just the box fan, and you can see that it shows 99 watts. And like I said, I tested it with the kilowatt meter, and it was 77 watts. So, you know, it's off. But as far as it being a power station that works good, that packs a pretty good capacity for such a small power station, I think it's a pretty good unit, and especially for the price. Let me go ahead and turn these off. So I just wanted to let you guys hear the fans running. I went ahead and unplugged the hair dryer and the box fan, and you can hear just a slight hum from the fans. They're not loud at all. It's not going to annoy you when it kicks on. It's just a small little hum. I doubt the camera can even hear it, but I don't think it would bother anybody. But I gotta say, for the price point, this is like $140 something right now on Amazon. I don't think you can beat that. You know, every time I get another power station, they keep going lower and lower in price, and they keep getting better and better. You know, the technology just keeps evolving in this category. So anyways, for that price point, I don't think you can beat this unit. Now, is the watt meter completely accurate? No. But does it do all that it's supposed to do? Yes. Does it have a good battery capacity? Yes. But is the fit and finish and all that really nice? Yes. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up. Alright, I really appreciate AIVOLT sending this power station out to me to do a review on. I gotta say, this is my first time dealing with this company, and pretty impressed. So until next time, I appreciate you watching, and if you're interested in this power station, check the description out down below, and I have a affiliate link for it. It won't cost you any more. It'll just help my channel out, give me a little small commission. Just keep on making these videos and testing out products for you guys, so you don't have to do this, because it's boring and it takes a lot of time, and you know, it's kind of frustrating sometimes, you know, reviewing stuff over and over and over. But you know, it's worth it in the long run. That way you guys don't have to pull out all this equipment and make a mess and have to clean all this stuff up. So if you buy it from my affiliate link, it doesn't cost you anymore, and it just helps me just a tiny little bit, and it keeps me motivated to want to keep making more videos. So thanks a lot, guys. Please like and subscribe to my new channel here. I sure appreciate that as well. And talk to you guys later. See ya.